Namaste, angels. I'm doing a client reading for someone for whom I've never read before. I don't know anything about her firsthand, just the name on her email address and or PayPal. That's it. I know nothing about her. So, but we're going to jump right in. And thus far, she may be an air sign or a water sign, which this card depicts, or also Sagittarius, because this card for me, balance, in this deck is very much like temperance in the traditional tarot, which does represent the sign of Sagittarius. And it's about restoration, healing, being made whole, right? And coming into balance, you know, like one's inner masculine and feminine coming together harmoniously. Can be about air signs and water signs too. Opening to transience, which is another card of healing. And I saw a lot of this as I was shuffling for her, actually. A lot of these cards connected to the need for healing, and indicating that she may be going through some as we speak. Transience is what it looks like for me, this card, you know, healing head to toe and surrendering to allow that process to take place, right? To allow yourself to be, you know, mended and restored by an energy such as this, you know, and like, you know, that of temperance. This female, she is naked, right? Her eyes are closed. That's full surrender. She's completely vulnerable, but allowing for it. Healing head to toe. Transience and golden memories. So there may be a fire sign involved. Maybe that's Sagittarius, represented by temperance, perhaps. Golden memories is a card that indicates that we're holding on to baggage. And I saw another card like this in this deck also as I was shuffling for this client, indicating that there's some stuff that she really needs to leave where it is. You know, experiences from the past, taking instead like just the positive aspects, the lessons learned, and moving on, dropping any, you know, negative emotions that may remain, you know, things like resentment and regret and the inability to forgive and, you know, whose fault was it, and guilt and all that kind of stuff, dropping all of that and only taking with you the positive, the golden memories. But again, also with all this fire and you know, actual fire in the picture, lava and such, it is reminiscent for me also of fire signs: Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. Perhaps Scorpio, since we saw the energy potentially of water before too. Both Aries and Scorpio ruled by Mars, the red planet. Transience and soulmate, very nice. Well, this speaks for itself. It's about a very special connection at the soul level that this party has, and maybe there's healing in that area. In like the relationship, the union itself being healed, and the individual parties being healed, so that they can come together. In a healthy and harmonious way, like balance, the balance card with which we started. Gateway for me is an indication of like the end of a phase or a period, and the beginning of a new one. Like literally entering a new chapter in your life. Gateway. And one more. Meditation, with which I started. No, I believe so. If I didn't start with it, I saw this so many times. I started with balance. Well, I saw this so many times as I was shuffling, which is another indication that healing was necessary. Meditation. And come to expectancy, which, similar to golden memories, indicates that there is something of which we need to let go of. This time, something very specific. It is our expectations. Our expectations, which translate to limitations upon which we, you know, have placed on the universe. No good. Like trying to control the timing and the way, the manner, the size of the blessings that we receive. Telling the universe, I want this at this moment in this way. And that's, that all that does is block your blessings, in a general way. And the overall energy, similar to that with which we began, balance represents air and water again. And more importantly, is about the need to pay close attention to our intuition, sort of like the high priestess, right? It has a very high priestess sort of energy that emanates from it. The water signs, of course, come from all of this blue and the connection to intuition. Water signs, very naturally intuitive. And the air from the puffs of air, the white. And this star, which in the traditional tarot, the star represents the sign of Aquarius. And the fact that the actual high priestess is an air sign. The feminine by herself, the masculine as it relates to the feminine, about himself, and the union. Overall, what the masculine would have the feminine do toward this union, contribute, surrender, what he himself is willing to, what the universe would have the two to do, and the outcome. Divine feminine. Transmutation. Here's more of that fire sign energy. But similar to the Golden Memories cards, this indicates a need to let go of, drop the baggage like a hot rock, transmute it instead to love. Take all those negative emotions, right? That guilt that I mentioned, that resentment, regret, the inability to forgive, things that are holding you back. Take it all and turn it into love. Accept the apology you've never gotten and you're never going to get. Forgive yourself too. Release the guilt. It's not your fault. And we're moving forward. And this will propel us further into love and really helps us to ascend like this being is doing. Into a higher frequency of love. The masculine about the feminine, also fire signs. I don't know if I mentioned that, but again, it's the energy of fire signs. Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, and again, possibly Scorpio. The masculine as it relates to the feminine, sorrow. So this may be from where those negative emotions come. Maybe there was some pain, right? There was some hurt between the two. There is a need to seek forgiveness. There is a need to, afford someone forgiveness, offer someone forgiveness, and to heal. The masculine about himself as it relates to the feminine and eternal flame. More fire energy, but more importantly, this being what he and his higher self deemed to be the connection between he and the feminine. So everyone likes to see that. And the union as a whole, birth. So an opportunity for a new beginning and starting over. And this is very much the energy of not just water signs, but specifically Scorpio, right? Death and rebirth. And the planet Pluto it's what it's all about. The end of that old, sort of like the portal that we saw, right? The end of an old era or phase, chapter, and the beginning of a brand new one. We can have a fresh start. Also does carry for me somewhat the energy of the 3 rays coming from this very Pentecostal dove of fire, right? This like sort of sphere of fire here. 3s in general relating to creativity, and the 3 of fire being something about which, like coming up with creative ways, to pursue something and to start something about which we are extremely passionate, right? Our soul burns for it. And then the Pentecostal dove, further to that, demonstrates the divinity of whatever that is too. Because the feast of the Pentecost, it's the celebration of the rising, so the rebirth essentially, of Jesus and other quote unquote saints in the scripture. Right? Several people upon what we celebrate as the resurrection or Easter, those of us who do, were raised, not just Jesus. So it was a grand divine rebirth. And that's what this card represents too for me. Overall, that gateway is back that I was just talking about, right? So this we have here crossing one another, essentially, the indication of the end of a phase or chapter, and here's the new start, the new beginning. And we will be walking through, a new portal, a new passageway, perhaps down a new path. What would the masculine have the feminine do here? It's more of this celebration of the divinity, right? Another very Pentecostal dove and celebration. But I just used that word, celebration. I said, what was the Pentecost celebrating? The rise, the rebirth, the resurrection. So that's what this card means for me as well. And that's what the masculine would have you to do. What is he himself willing to? Retreat. So now we have the energy of, again, air signs, and maybe most specifically Aquarius, but also Earth. This can be representative of the period that we just entered, which was a new period, the end of an era and the beginning of a new one, where Uranus, ruler of Aquarius, has entered Taurus. And is going to remain there for the next 8 years. So it is the completely, not just for the divine masculine, but for the planet in general and all beings that inhabit it, a new beginning in that sense, and a new gateway, a new path down which we're walking, a new energy. This also, though, demonstrates the need to do some actual meditation. And if you at all live in an area that's conducive to doing any of it outside, it doesn't have to be done like this. You don't have to sit Indian style and with a prayer pose, however you feel comfortable. You can sit on the park bench and do it. You can go jogging or play basketball, like whatever is a way that you connect with the universe outside and Mother Nature, do so. Maybe planting, you have a garden. I live in an apartment building, I live in the concrete jungle, New York City. So I don't have that. But, maybe you have a garden or something, or you enjoy keeping plants and planting vegetables, going for walks, bike rides, whatever it is, however you connect, listening to music, or meditation or something. Do that. Find ways to connect, or this is what he's willing to do, to find ways to connect with the universe. And this also results in like the abundance flow opening up. What would the universe have the two do? It's more meditation. I just talked about listening to music potentially and meditative sounds, maybe binaural tones perhaps, and that's what the universe would have the two of you to do. So as I said in the beginning, I had seen when I shuffled for you a lot of this energy of an indication of the need for healing for one or both of you, and it's still coming through, and you can see it for yourself. This is what the universe would have you to work on. And when you do the meditation and healing sounds, perhaps you may, because she's bringing attention to the sacral chakra here by holding this sphere in front of it, you may want to, in some respects, focus on that area as well, healing specifically there. And isn't that like, the leading to the birth canal too? So that may be connected. I'm feeling something definitely about the sacral chakra. And then we're here with this representing like a Venus sort of energy, maybe even Empress-like, especially sitting here under birth. They all go together as if they're connected and related to this birth and this new start. And the outcome, dreams. This is dreams coming true, the things you wanted. We put our effort and our energy in the right places, and in the right ways, as in we followed the guidance that we receive, the divine guidance that we receive, and our dreams begin to come true. Our prayers begin to be answered. The abundance flow begins to open up. Oh, okay. Well, I'm next going to do a spread from the perspective of the universe, beginning with brunette female, which is a very quote unquote karmic energy for me. And I put it in quotes because karmic really just means of the universe and like destined, but we've turned it into this really like derogatory term. We in the divine union or quote unquote twin flame community turned it into this derogatory term that I don't think would please like real astrologers and studiers of karma and dharma and things. But she comes across there very karmic, let's say. Also, often she is a Cancer or a Leo Cancer, like a Cuspian. When I saw this, when I picked it up, I also had accidentally, like what they showed, this one. Wow, okay, I did it again. I was meant to show you. The way I picked it up, I was also picking it up. I picked up these only to reveal gossip too. So she could be up to something. We're going to shuffle and see what else comes out. But, you know, right away, this occurred. The overall energy is the Ice King, so there can be more evidence of an air sign, or again, perhaps of an Aries, with this being very reflective of Mars, this gentleman here, and like the Emperor, a Scorpio, or a Leo specifically, if not an air sign, a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This is the overall energy. I also was made to notice that the dark male was immediately behind that brunette female that I said I consider karmic. So there may be some sort of funny business. Hopefully we'll get to see. There may be a relationship or something. There may be somebody that's attached to the masculine, somebody in his life, because the dark male is a representation in this deck of the divine masculine for me. So it could be somebody in his life, a friend, a family member, romantic interest, like a third part, some sort of extra energy. Divine couple. Recent past, near future, masculine's higher self, blocks to the union. The feminine can do, the masculine can do, further advice from the universe, and the outcome. Divine couple, freedom. So this is also representative of the energy of Aquarius for me, and Uranus, and wanting to break free, and can very much be attached to what I mentioned before, Uranus having entered the sign of Taurus, and this new energy that we're embarking upon for the next, you know, and entering, and will remain in for the next 8 years. Breaking free of limitations and restrictions, and the need to conform, and like old belief systems and all kinds of funky stuff like that. Recent past, Ice Queen, very nice. Venus, well, yeah, I think again this is Uranus. This is the energy of Aquarius, and recently we entered it. She also is the ruler of Taurus, Venus, as the Ice Queen. The near future, new love. So more new opportunity. Remember the birth? Okay, new opportunity, new love, new energy. Masculine's higher self, true love. How nice is that, to be rooted in new love and crowned by true love, with the goddess of love in the middle. Also, with the Ice Queen here and the Ice King as the overall energy, also sort of states, it's the reading stating, yes, we're talking about a couple, you know, we're talking about two people, definitely a couple. Blocks to the union. Money. Now, this can be actual, literal money. And somebody's relationship with it, you know, and dependency on it, maybe like a codependent sort of situation, and not considering the other aspects like love and faith. You know, maybe that the goddess and planet of love will replenish any money that we need or provide us with whatever we need. It can also be attached to earth signs. Again, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, which is that energy of restriction. Capricorn, Saturn, that restrictive and limiting energy. So it's the opposite of this Aquarius energy, right? This is conformity, and this is breaking free. This is restriction and imprisonment. This is escaping. It also can represent somebody that is the sign, you know, of Capricorn or another earth sign too, that's impactful upon the situation. Also, like not recognizing your value, worth, or that of the union. Also coming up. What can the feminine do toward the union? She's got obstacles that has to be removed out of the way, that, you know, that you have to escape from. You've got to seek your freedom from this thing that's holding you back and blocking you. And it can be something of your own making, design. It could be standing in your own way. It could be that plus something else too. But like I was talking about, the negative energy of emotion and stuff that we have to let go. You know, when we hold on to it and we hold on to the past and stuff that holds us back, that disallows us from being free, that's us getting in our own way. So I think that's what I feel is coming out here to you. What about the masculine? What can he do? Get on and stay on the path towards spiritual growth. Awesome. Continued healing and ascension. Further advice from the universe for the two of you. Aww, union. How pretty is that? And I'm sitting here next to true love, and again, crossing the goddess of love. It's sitting here atop money. So it could be like money, maybe in a literal sense, holding you back from making some sort of commitment, and possibly even like considering buying, like I don't have the money to buy rings and stuff like that. And the outcome, blonde female. Well, this is the representation of the divine feminine for me in this deck. She's also not a blonde female. She's a redhead. And in the traditional tarot, the Queen of Fire, which, you know, this sort of is the representation of the divine feminine there too. So ultimately, moving toward a point where you are healthy, and that allows the relationship as a whole to be healthy too. But we have to get past these limitations first. Knowing, and this can motivate you, knowing all the time, surrounded by love and positivity. Speaking of the Queen of Fire, I'm beginning with the King of Fire, with the Angel Tarot. He is motivational, idealistic, ambitious, and charismatic, and a representation of the divine masculine in the tarot, as well as potentially being a Leo, Aries, a Sagittarius, or maybe even a Scorpio, just like the divine feminine or the feminine representation, the Queen of Fire is. Focus, focus, focus. Communicate with vision and be a leader. Take advice from someone creative. And opening to the Six of Air, things are looking up. It's the end of a difficult situation. You may even be taking a trip. So this is a card. It can be literal travel and literal movement, as in a trip, or, you know, moving to a new place. But if it's at least metaphorical, like worst case scenario, it's metaphorical. And it's like positive movement forward, always forward, never backward with the Six of Air. There's no potential for it to be a negative card. It's always good. Six of Air and the Queen of Air yet again. More Venus. Independent, experience, realistic and witty, objective decision making, clearing away all that no longer serves you and seeing the humor in a situation. The Queen of Air is a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, seeking freedom. Six of Air. The Eight of Fire, events moving at a fast pace. Delays are over. Many things are happening at once. The Eight of Fire can be about communication, increased, and things going on behind the scenes. And again, in a positive, like this, I've never seen a negative Eight of Fire. There is no negative Eight of Fire as far as I'm concerned. It's always things going on behind the scenes that are improving your situation. And opposite the Six of Air, that's it couldn't be anything else. These are both about movement and in a positive direction. One more. It's the High Priestess. So more air and water with this, particularly Gemini as it relates to air for me. Listen to your intuition. Have patience and consider carefully what you want before acting. So like that Mystic card that was in the beginning of the reading. High Priestess, I'm gonna cut. And it's awakening with Archangel Gabriel. Could represent a party of three of some sort. Not necessarily a love triangle, but that's a possibility. But a third energy of some sort. Also, the awakening or the Hanged Man, Major Arcana card 12 in the traditional tarot, for me represents the planet Neptune in the sign of Pisces, which it rules. Look at things from a different perspective, maybe another water sign. You're at a temporary standstill so that you can do this. It's important to be yourself in that moment, to be honest with you about, what it is you're doing in that moment and the perspectives that you're looking from. You're doing it in an honest and like legitimate way. You have to. Overall energy is the Three of Air. Great sadness. Take time to heal. There's a need to forgive yourself and others. So some hurt may have come about. Again, involving a third energy, perhaps that karmic female from the last spread, the brunette female, causing some sort of pain in your life or that of the masculine or both. But there's an overall need for healing reflected by this overall energy. To the positive, we're moving on from it because it won't be included in the spread at all. So it's an energy that we're leaving, or that we are to leave behind if we're carrying, again, some sort of pain or something from a past experience or negative emotions from past experience. We're to let that go, leave it behind. Crowning the masculine is the Five of Air. And that reminds me, I had meant to tell you that behind the Three of Air, I was also made to see the Five of Air. So some sort of conflict or something that we may have brought upon ourselves, as far as I'm concerned. When I see the Five of Air, that's how it makes me feel. Not necessarily like in a intentional or malicious way, but, we were a catalyst and a participant, again, willingly or not, in this drama that we experienced. The Five of Fire, however, can sometimes represent Mars for me, and that Mars, the planet of action and aggression, right? And taking some sort of action, like not taking no for an answer, going for it, that sort of thing. Also, internal struggle, right? A person's internal struggle. And where it is not those, and it's some sort of problem with somebody else, it can be with anybody, but for the most part, or often from what I see, is it is conflict with close friends and or family. The masculine surrounded by the Tower. A significant life event, a powerful revelation that leads to change. It's time to spread your wings. This can have to do with an actual structure, something happening at the home, a disruption at the home, some kind of energy that comes through very quickly, maybe conflict with a family member. It can also have to do with coming to a revelation, like a light bulb goes off, boom, all of a sudden, unexpectedly. You know, something triggers it, and your life is changed like in an instant with this thought. The Tower, it's like a neutral energy, as in it could go either way, you know, one way or another, or in either case, it comes through very quickly and is life changing or life altering, at least in that moment. Tends to represent the sign of Scorpio for me, as can the Five of Fire. Again, it tends to represent Mars, or it often does, and Mars is a ruler of Scorpio. In the masculine subconscious, whatever it was, it is to his benefit and or credit. It's for the best, because here in his subconscious, it's the end of this difficulty. And fives are about a change, a need for a change of energy too, a clearing of energy, as are tens. Like, you know, we dispense with this energy once we have a 10. But in the meantime, what it had represented is, you know, him feeling burdened. If he wasn't actually, you know, burdened, he felt that way. It's here in this placement of the subconscious. So he at least felt that way. Too much work, accept help from others, life's out of balance, and that can lead to stress-related health concerns. That could have been something too, like a health scare, very suddenly. Pressure goes up, anxiety attack, you know, very unexpectedly. Finding the feminine, the Ace of Earth, the inflow of abundance, a promising business venture, important documents or contracts. All that reminds me that also sticking up, did I mention it? I don't think I did, was ego in this deck, or the devil. Major Arcana card number 15, the devil, which can be about restriction and being held back. And I was just reminded by it when I saw the Ace of Earth, because the devil represents the sign of Capricorn, or perhaps another earth sign, but directly Capricorn in the tarot. Surrounding the feminine, the 10 of air, the end of a difficult situation. Embrace the change and expect things to get better now. Somebody may even be recovering from an addiction. And an addiction can be attached to the devil, again, with the devil representing that energy of restriction, limitation, codependency. It can be a substance abuse sort of thing, and that is often the first thing people think of when you say an addiction, but it absolutely does not have to have anything at all to do with that. Any person, place, or thing with which we have a toxic relationship, as I said, in the other spread, potentially even money, like an unhealthy relationship with money and the dependency upon that, is an addiction, or can be represented by this card. It's also a card of betrayal, right? The feeling of having been like backstabbed, betrayed. But again, on the bright side, similar to the masculine's 10 of fire, the 10 of air indicates that it's the end of this difficult energy. And we've already seen the 6 that confirm that too, the end of a difficult period. So now we're seeing that twice. This also says it's the end of a difficult situation. It's reconfirmation on top of the 6. In the feminine subconscious, the 9 of earth, enjoying life's little luxuries. Spending quiet time alone and successful self-employment. So at least for one thing, because it can have several meanings, for one thing, it can be an end of a difficult period where money was tight, right? The finally getting, loosened up, and you can afford some of the things that you want to do or need to do in order to nurture yourself. 9 of earth about spending time with you, to get to know you and like you and love you so that you can do the same with others in a healthy way. Crowning. The Queen of Water, tenderhearted, empathetic, patient, and loving. Relationships develop to a new level. Trust your intuition. Care for yourself and others. The Queen of Water is potentially like the Tower and the Five of Fire for me. Scorpio. Cancer also can be. Pisces, or anyone likened to these traits or attributes, actually. Also guides us to pay close attention to our intuition. Right, and to watch signs and synchronicities and you know, consider them. Don't discredit them. Don't discount them. At the root, the Two of Air, being unwilling or unable to make a decision, a stalemate, pretending there's no problem. This is an energy of non-action. Action needs to be taken, but you're not right now. And that's okay, especially if you're being guided to pause for a second, like the High Priestess guides. Like she says, make sure, and she's a 2 also, Major Arcana card number 2, the High Priestess. Make sure you know, or you've decided what it is you want. Pay attention to your intuition, pay attention to the signs, and then when you're certain about what it is you want to know, then you can reveal your cards. Right? That's what she says. At the heart of the matter, it's another 2. The 2 of Earth, too much going on at once. Is a need to make a decision. Consider a more playful approach. You may want to take on the energy of a more lighthearted sign, a mutable sign, as opposed to a fixed sign like Scorpio, for example. Virgo, Pisces, Gemini, Sagittarius. Those are the mutable signs. They're more youthful and like lighthearted. I'm going to further clarify these with the Doreen Virtue Romance Angels, beginning with give your relationship a chance, work on your partnership. And opening 2, chemistry. There's a strong magnetic attraction here. Give your relationship a chance. And calling in your soulmate, your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. Give your relationship a chance. And codependency. This is more devil and 10 of air type of energy. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. So again, any person, place, or thing upon which one is codependent, or someone else codependent upon you and what you have to offer. Give the relationship a chance. Also, healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. I might say maybe something in the home here, particularly for the masculine. It's not just your parents that you would need to forgive. Any and everybody who's so impactful upon your life that you can't move on or continue with that life, or more specifically, your love life. They're just in the way of everything. You have to heal that, okay? Whatever that means, by repairing it, by walking away from it, whatever is appropriate, but you have to heal it. Give your relationship a chance and free yourself. Second time we're seeing a card like this. Remember, you were represented by freedom in the last spread. It's time to take back control of your life. We have to break free of the codependent situation, whatever it is. Masculine may need to get out of a family home or something, for example. One more. And playfulness. So similar to this, the heart of the matter here. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. Playfulness. Getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. Overall energy is trust. This situation is calling for you to have faith. Atop the Five of Fire. I said this could be going for it without letting anything, no holds barred. Going after your passions, active, aggressive movement. The energy of Mars, the masculine planet of love. action and aggression. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. Fire signs, definitely about passion. Burning passion. Fire. Atop the tower. Pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. Well, the masculine has quite a few red flags here. The Five of Fire, that shows that he should be taking some sort of action and going after his passions, pursuing them. And the Ten of Fire, showing that whatever other situation he had been in, maybe avoiding his passions, whatever or whoever, whoever they may be, was stressful for him and, felt unnatural. So don't do that, right? Pay attention to those signs, those red flags that you're getting. Atop this Ten of Fire is getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. So not fighting that. Atop the Ace of Earth, religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. If it is attached to the energy of Capricorn and or codependency, it could be like belief systems and things that are old and part of your limitation and holding you back, you need to break free of. To more positive or an additional meaning, religious factors atop the Ace of Earth, which is like a divine new beginning, blessed new beginning. It could just be a further confirmation of that, like the spirituality attached to the divinity attached to this new beginning. Atop the Ten of Air, honeymoon. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. This, like the Six of Air, is moving into calmer, stiller waters and perhaps enjoying the honeymoon phase of a new and or renewed relationship after we leave this energy of difficulty and hurt. And sitting underneath the Ace of Earth, again, whatever the new opportunity is in love, enjoying that fun period, that honeymoon phase of it. Atop the Nine of Earth, calling in your soulmate, your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. So while you're working on yourself alone, spending time, nurturing yourself, that positive energy and that nurturing sends out an energy to call in the soulmate. Atop the Queen of Water, flirt. Extend your lighthearted energy to others. Again, that's what's going to help to bring you romance, that positive, lighthearted energy, not like a bunch of heavy baggage. Atop the Two of Air and that point of indecision, you deserve love. You are lovable. So it's time to take action in this area. And this is more energy of fire sign and more specifically Sagittarius, but any fire sign pops. And at the heart of the matter, atop the Two of Earth, worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. So in the meantime, we work on getting balanced and healing. And there's a bunch of sirens to go along with that. Emotionally balanced, spiritually balanced. And to do away with these difficulties or allowing them to dispense that are other things that are taking our energy, right? Taking our attention. So your 10 of air sits next to this 2 of earth. His 10 of fire crosses this 2 of earth. So those are other things that you're trying to juggle, and he's trying to hold 10 wands, carry 10 wands on his back, while dealing with these other emotions and situations and scenarios, circumstances. You may have the 10 swords in your back while you're trying to, do similar on your, in your own life, on your own side. Further to this, the romance angels say to the masculine, message from afar. And it's more of this fire energy. And this can have multiple meanings for the masculine. It can be about paying attention to his intuition, his signs that he sees, synchronicities that he experiences, gut feelings, all of this, right? His intuition can also be more literal and like a long distance phone call or, communication, even online. Uranus, Aquarius, also very much tied to electronic communication. But that also includes like telepathy and things like that for me, and maybe even dreams. This dreams card keeps staring me in the face at the same time too. So all of those are possibilities for the masculine with the message from afar. For you, expectancy is back. So again, it would seem that you are putting limitations in front of yourself and upon the universe that are hindering you and blocking your blessings. So you want to work on releasing those and maybe cutting some cords of negative emotion and or attachment that you might have from past experiences. Just considering again all of the energy of healing that we've seen and that I saw alone as I was shuffling for your reading. With a masculine family, again, I felt that he may have had some sort of family situation and may need to leave a family home or something. And here we have another party of three, potentially surrounding family that he needs to work on, deal with. For you, passion, more fire sign, more burning passion, more love to match his. So this is just like a friendly reminder that it exists, that it's there and it's real. From the Angel Tarot to the masculine, the Knight of Fire. Fire, 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 all over the place in this reading. Passionate, adventurous, self-assured, and restless. He's also a Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, or perhaps a Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Rising, any of those. Can also be connected to anybody, with the likened to these traits or attributes. A sudden event that needs immediate attention. So sort of like the Tower. So that's going to come very quickly, sudden event, and we have to deal with it. Time is of the essence. Think things through carefully. So something's going on there with the masculine that he needs to pay some attention to. For you, more fire. The Sun, which represents the sign of Sagittarius, yet again in the tarot. For me in real life, the Sun represents the sign of Leo. It can be Aries too, as well. Earth's star, the Sun, rules the sign of Leo. Happy outcome. Brilliant new ideas that lead to success if you have confidence in yourself. So everything does work out. You're going to need the confidence in yourself to work on your healing and work on releasing that which you have to, you're being guided to. And for the masculine, lastly, from the romance angels, past life relationship. You have known each other before. And I think that this is attached to that karmic situation and or female that we saw in the beginning. And lastly, for you, make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. So if you ever wonder, should I just drop this? Should I leave it alone? Should I not pursue? Should I not follow my feelings? I'm being moved to call. I'm being moved to write a letter. I'm being moved to let go for the moment. Whatever it is. If you're feeling it, pay attention to it and follow it. We get the guidance. We receive it. That's the first gift, that we're able to receive it. That we're in that sort of space and have been blessed with the ability and the gifts, and then to actually follow it and the next step and see what that opens for us. The world that opens for us of abundance in all of its forms is a magnificent thing. I hope that you enjoy your reading, that you find it helpful. Namaste, dear.